So we're gonna use my mom's recipe, which was her grandmother's recipe. I know we've already showed it to you, one time before. It's a British pastry, did the cooking, etc., etc. I've got all my measuring tools. I got my roller and a place to work my pastry. And I'm gonna go with a bigger bowl that I used last time. And I'm gonna get Karen to come over here and I'll show you this. The 2.5 cups of Gold Medal WONDRA flour. Apparently that is the most important part because my mom emphasized that over and over and over again. We're gonna go with Imperial margarine, and I've got it out of the refrigerator, but the one I'm gonna use is in the refrigerator. You wanna try and keep it as solid and cold as possible. We're gonna chop that into smaller pieces in a minute. This is the equivalent, obviously Walmart's brand, great value, of Crisco. A little bit of salt, the good salt, a 1/4 cup of water, 2/3 cup of milk, and we're gonna make the pastry first, put it in the refrigerator, covered for about 30 minutes. We'll explain that as we go, but I'm gonna start with 1.5 cups of the flour and put it in first, and then I can put in all of my wet ingredients, and then we'll start mixing that together. Let's open that rascal up, and I'm gonna pour in, this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. As you can see, that's 1.5 cups. We're gonna do our 1 cup of Crisco. Put that in there. All right, we're gonna get 1 cup of Crisco or Walmart brand. All right, cover that back up. We'll get that out of the way. We're gonna go with a pinch of salt. This is what we call the real salt. This is my idea of a pinch. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of water. And I'm using 2% milk. I don't know if I should have used whole milk. I'm not really a baker. I don't know if it matters or not. All right. And so we got 2/3 cup of milk. So we've got everything in there with the exception of an extra cup of the WONDRA flour, but I'm gonna mix this up first. I'm gonna put my butter in last and knead it and make sure it gets in there. You don't, I think I mentioned this last time before, the reason you want to keep your butter as cold as possible, we're gonna cut it into small little cubes, and that's what gives your crust the flakiness. And I think that makes a huge difference. So. You know, it's funny because that's pretty much exactly the recipe. So if you get one of these, you can probably just dump it in there. All right, so we're just gonna mix this together really, really well. We're gonna get our butter here in just a minute, and we'll cut it into little tiny pieces. All right, so we're gonna cut these into, that's how I did it last time. Just cut them into about 4 pieces like that. and 3 across. So bam, 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 bam. And you have to say bam every time you cut that, otherwise it doesn't work good. It doesn't taste as good. Okay, so we want to put this, just mix them around the edges, in the middle. We're going to try and get it in there as much as we possibly can in different spots. I'm going to put some of that on the side so it'll mix in. Some of that on that over there and there. We'll have all of that in there. Now I'm going to get in here and do my thing. Now what we'll do is, since we've used all of our Wondra, I'll use just regular all-purpose flour to keep the rolling pin floured up. And my pastry mat down here where we'll roll it out, we'll make sure it's got to have, you know, quite a bit of flour on it so everything doesn't stick. And we'll put this, once I get this kind of mixed up really well, we'll put it in the refrigerator covered for about 20 minutes just to get everything back cold. And then what I'm going to do, and I'll explain that too, is I'm going to cut it in half, because I'm going to make half jam tarts and half sausage rolls. And so I don't want the pastry to get too warm because it sticks to the roller. And some of you are probably laughing, thinking, man, this guy really thinks he knows what he's talking about. I don't, but I'm just telling you my experience from last time and remembering watching my mom make this. It was always kind of fun to watch her, and I would oftentimes get in there and eat some of the pastry and help her get different things cut up and do whatever. So it was kind of cool. And she would make pies out of this pastry. And there's some, my sister wanted, she's probably watching, you can make mince meat tarts. They're, we actually call them mince meat pies. I shouldn't say tarts, but you use the same little cooking or cutter for the pastry, and you put it in the bottom of the actual pan and put your mincemeat on top of it, and then you cut the same size and lay it over the top and pinch it kind of shut, and it makes a little mincemeat tart. And then you sprinkle powdered sugar over the top of that. And my sister loved them. I love them too. I'm just not going to make any of them today. I may make some for Christmas, and she'll be excited, especially if she's watching this video, because she'll be like, yay, because that was one of her favorites as well. Okay, so Karen's going to get in here and show you. We've got all of this kind of mixed up. I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator, like I said, and then we'll take part of it out in about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to go with Jimmy Dean hot pork sausage this time. Last time we went with just the regular sausage. Didn't feel like it had enough kick to it. Then I'm going to throw a little flour in this just so it doesn't stick as easy. But I'm going to, while that's in the refrigerator cooling, the pastry, we will we'll get this kind of rolled out and make our logs that we can put inside the pastry. I'm going to try and make these about the size of a hot dog. I guess it'd be the easiest way to reference that. I don't know if I'm going to have enough pastry to do much more than that right there. Pinch that one off. I think that'll be about right. Okay. So while you were gone, I went ahead and cleaned this off, got the sausage out, because I want to do the jam tarts first. I want to make sure I have enough pastry to do 2 pans of our jam tarts. And the funny thing about it is, this is called strawberry jam, thus in the name jam tarts. When we did ours last time, we used preserves. This was the sugar-free blackberry, and we had sugar-free strawberry, but it's not as thick, and it got runny and kind of overflowed and stuff. So we're going to use the strawberry jam. We may make a couple out of this because that's what Karen wanted. All right, I'm gonna attempt to cut that in half, to take half of it, put the other half back in the refrigerator, keep it cold. Put that on there like so. We're gonna get our rolling pin and make sure we keep it nice and dry. And we'll just roll these out. Now, if Karen will get a close-up on that, you can see that butter is mixed in there nicely. There's places where there's more butter and places where there's less butter. Uh-oh, there we go. That's what happens when it starts to get warm. Now, some of you may wonder if my mom is still around. She is. She just has Alzheimer's. And she used to do all the fixings and all the cooking and do all that kind of stuff. And now she's just at a place where she can't. And my sister and I decided we would not let this tradition and this recipe go away. So she had written it out for us while she was still in her right mind, and she's as sweet as she can be to this day, but she does not need to be around the kitchen because she will turn the stove on and forget that it's on. Okay, so the pans are my mom's. We're just gonna dab that in there and get those ready to go for the pastry to go inside. You'll notice how seasoned these are. These have been around a long time and have done a lot of cooking. I even have her little jam tart cutter. Last time I wasted a bunch, so I need to do a better job this time. I'm gonna go around the outsides. And we're gonna cut 12 to start with. Put those in there like that. I don't know if those of you that are watching are counting. I am not. Figure I'd use up whatever I could use up, and then we go from there. There may be some left over, and there may not be enough. Who knows? So we're just gonna put all of those in here. Uh-oh. I'm gonna probably not use that one. It's split. Okay, so we've got this left over. If you want to, I don't know if it's bad for you, but I used to eat that as a kid. Mom would always save me a little dough ball. Loved it, I still do. Really good. All right, I'm gonna put this one in the freezer because it's gonna be a little behind the other one before we roll those out. So I'll put it in the freezer for a couple, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes while we start filling these with jam. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get our strawberry preserves in here. Try and get it where it's not too much, but not too little either. I think that should be about right. Okay, these are the ones that are sugar-free. It's blackberry. Karen liked these. I liked them, but I love the strawberry jam. Okay guys, we're going to get the oven preheated. We're gonna go 450 degrees on the jam tarts, and I believe it's 425. You'll see that, let me double check. It'll be 425 on the sausage roll. So 450 on the jam tarts, and we'll let that preheat while we're getting the rest of this stuff done. So we're gonna start the second half of this. I'm gonna break these into smaller pieces, I think, and see if I can get the flour on them. Roll them out about right. Somewhere in that area should be about right. Now all I'm gonna do is obviously just roll this puppy dog up. I went ahead and I put the pastry back in the refrigerator to do the last ones, because I noticed that when it starts to get just a little too warm, it just doesn't want to work the same. So now we're gonna basically cut those into about 1-inch pieces. Like so. Okay, I'm gonna have Karen put the tarts in, and they'll come out in about 15 minutes. They should be about perfect. You just want to kind of keep an eye on them. Once they start browning around the edges, you'll notice some people like theirs probably done more than others. Karen likes things cooked a little bit more than I do. So what do you guys think? Do they look yummy or what? They cooked a little faster than we thought, probably because the pastry was not as thick, maybe. I don't know. I just gotta keep working on my technique. Okay, we are getting closer to being completely done and putting these in the oven. I cannot believe how I got all of the pastry rolled out, and this was the last bit of it, and looks like we're gonna use up every bit of the sausage and every bit of the pastry. Jam tarts cooked faster than we anticipated, but the key is to just watch very closely. When you see the tops start to brown, you want to take them out, let them sit for maybe a minute, and they'll still cook just a little bit, And then when you pull them out, you can see they're all really good. As you can see, there's a few of these missing. Karen tried to record. She ate a couple of the blackberry and I ate a couple of those on camera, and then she realized it wasn't filming. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to eat them again. But just put a little dollop of Cool Whip. Of course, some people like the spray, you know, make the sound for you, all over them. I love Cool Whip way better. And I would love for you to make these and let us know that you made them and how much you like them. If you don't like them, you won't offend me. But I hope that you will, and then send pictures of you eating them like this.
I gotta try one. I mean another.
All right, the moment of truth. Oh, yummy! Bite-sized pieces of heaven. Yum, yum, yum. There we have it. Oh, Greenlee's ready to eat a sausage roll. All right, they've cooled down, so Karen and I are gonna eat one together. Which one do you want?
I want this one.
I think I want that one. All right, here we go.
Greenlee's gonna get a bite of the pastry. Mmm.
Mmm. I hope you like them. I hope you send us a picture or comment below and let us know that you made them for some special activity and whether or not you like them. All right, thanks.
I think Greenlee approves.